They do. My cat gets
So I've
one.
heard. All right.
What the hell? I think there is a tornado going through my house.
Nah, Shane just came home.
No, it's Dobby.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Are you tired of being awesome alone? Well, so are we. So join Tyra and I as we recap the awesome creative year we've had in 2025. Woo!
Hold it. Charles coughed instead of me.
You know, one thing I do like about doing broadcasting yourself, like the OBS and those kind of things, is I know what I hear is what everybody else hears. But that is not always the case.
No.
with Talk City or whatever we're in now.
I don't know. Hi, Devo Site and Earth Station. Boo.
Devo, we would have been early, except I had to go find the speak pipe you called in, so I got it, so we're good.
Oh, you have alcohol. I have bad tea.
Yeah, I don't do.
Well, not bad. What are you drinking tonight?
Cannot pronounce it. It is one of the ones that was gifted to me in a little bottle, and it looked like it was something along the lines of Bahonigans.
Oh, yeah. Sheen would know how to pronounce it.
BHAU. Yeah, it's a lot of consonants and vowels. 12-year.
Nice.
Something. So that is what I'm going to be sipping on. Then later I have this bottle of Crooked Creek in case I want to keep the party going.
All right. I have blueberry green tea, cold brewed, that I may be regretting.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think Earth Station Boo has the best thing. She has a hot toddy.
It's cold.
It is cold.
It's cold outside.
How's it out there for you guys? How cold is it? It's like
freezing.
It's like 30 something here. It's 40. It's been cold. I put on a jacket.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
But, for those like who live further up north than we do,
He's getting SNOY.
SNOY. Snowy. It's like joy with snow.
No. I can't spell is what we just learned.
I like it. I play the
snowy
with
sounds
you.
better. Let's do that.
I keep trying to spell your name Trya instead of Tyra.
Trya. You know, my fear growing up was that the kids that were already teasing me would figure out that my name was the first 4 letters of Tyrannosaurus.
Okay.
And would call me a dinosaur and be really mean than they were. So.
And now you're just worried that the faculty will do that?
No, I have embraced my Tyrannosaurus. Those are T-Rex arms.
That's funny.
Dinos are cool now. They weren't as cool in 1970s.
Earth Station Boo says, what does that say? 64 degrees, but anything under 80 is freezing.
Yeah. That's a Floridian for you.
All right, so
Charles,
a few announcements.
We have announcements?
Yes, we do.
We do announcements?
Well, either that or we're going to ghost people for 2 weeks.
Oh, let's not ghost. I mean, it's not nice. You should not ghost people.
We only announce things when we have something to announce. So in this case, with the holidays and work and everything else being what it is, this will be the last episode of 2025 for Be Awesome Together. Woo-hoo! Until, was it January 5th? 6th?
We don't even know what day it is. Hang on. I got grades due on Thursday, people. It is January 6th, and I'm very excited because I will still be on break.
That is actually really nice.
It is. I'm looking forward to it.
Back from traveling and go to work.
It's true, and part of the reason we're not going to be here is not only the holidays, but we are going to Florida for a family reunion of sorts. Dobert Burton. Sorry about that. Every now and then you have to yell at your child.
You need to call him by his true native name, Storm Muffin. He just seems like, if you look at his face, it screams Storm Muffin.
He's just so cute. And he's actually trying to get the cat to play with him, but the cat is like, fuck you. And she's into something now. What is this? Oh, Can you not eat the plastic? This is my life, Charles. I have crazy animals and a crazy husband. And I have you in my life too.
Where you can eliminate all of that but me. That would be in your office upstairs. So where are we on that progress?
Is this shelf watch time? Because I really need to save my cat from the plastic. Will you please stop eating that? It's okay. She's not going to stop. Okay, I'm going to go take care of her. But we will. I think we have an idea of how shelf watch is going. Oh, she stopped. Okay.
This is not influencing me to the positive on changing my mind on animals. I'm just saying.
She's really sweet. She's going to come over here and crawl on my chest in a second, aren't you?
It's like, not that my wife and I never went through this, but it's like that TV couple goes through, like, do you kind of think we can have kids again? And you see the crazy, unruly kids running around screaming, breaking stuff. I'm like, yeah, no, we're good.
My sister used to point to our niece and nephew and say that's birth control.
I don't understand people and animals, and I live with a person who is like that. So that's not my shelf watch.
So my shelf watch is I have worked on The Office, and then I had to go do other things because we have people showing up on Friday, and the house has to be presentable. And but it's getting closer. We've had conversations. It's a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie. It's got stuff. So you know how when you're cleaning up your house and you have to have a destination for all the stuff that's got to go someplace else, but you don't know where that is?
Yes.
That was my office, because Shane has to have his office when he works from home 3 days a week. No, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. We had to have the guest room cleaned up for Sean when he visited. So the destination was my office. We're getting there.
Feels like
I know.
You're not as much women's lib as I am. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I would have protected your space, Tyra.
I appreciate that. And Shane and I have had conversations about the fact that, and he agrees, and he also started the conversation, is that my office has to be the priority now. We're very down with that, but it just was between my office and his office. He has to be in his.
Sure.
3 to 4 days a week. And so it really wasn't, we had no other place. So it's okay. I am one chair. I have one chair that I've got to get out of his office and to wherever it's going to go, and another chair that has to get out of my bedroom and into his office. And then all my furniture woes on the 2 main floors of the house will be done.
I did tell you that I might have we were Dan Friday, and I realized I won't because I had set some meetings, so I couldn't do the other thing.
Okay.
So I can maybe come early. I think I can move 2 chairs pretty with one hand tied behind my back. I'm probably sure I could help you with that.
You might even want the chair. I mean, it's a really nice recliner. It just needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I don't know where to put it. I kind of let out. I was like, no, I'll kind of have one over here that's kind of same. It needs a little bit of repair, but it's really good.
So if you're out there in Atlanta and you need a nice recliner, it's blue, perfect condition, except for it's a little.
So how about tilted. This? We declared to the universe that Devo Site is going to drive over from Missouri and be here for Friday and hang out with us at this party.
That sounds
Bring
awesome.
us some Missouri treats, and he knows what I'm saying. And then he'll take the chair back. And everybody will be happy. And a shelf will magically appear in your house.
He would love the chair. I mean, the chair it was my dad's chair. And we put it in Shane's office so I could sit in. And during the pandemic, it was awesome. But when we moved, it got slightly, I don't know, clipped. I'm a big girl. This is not a small body. And it cattywampuses. So. Anyway, if you need a chair, Diva Site, you're always welcome to come visit Georgia. We have a guest room.
That's what you say. It's your dad's chair. Same thing here as my grandfather's chair. He bought it when I was 12. It's a lazy boy. I wish I knew if they still made them the same way, because I'd absolutely say if Lazy Boy makes it to the standard they did in 1990-ish, then they will last generations. Because the only actual thing wrong with it is fine, but because I'm also not a small person, where the it could use basically undoing and just repatting the cushion because it just caves in at where the back meets the butt of the seat.
Well, it's
Right.
not easy,
Well,
but we can do that.
in a lot of places, yeah. But then I looked at it like, oh, this is a very well crafted machine. So I'm not sure what it's going to take to fix that because it's all faux leather and all this other stuff. And like, it's not like now where I would expect, like the couches I'm sitting on, you can unzip it and take it off. But
yeah, our
that's not
couch,
like
we
that.
can unzip it. So yeah, I mean, we have we bought two lazy boy. We bought a love seat and a sofa did we buy it during the pandemic? I think we did. I don't remember. Anyway, it was around the pandemic time. And we mostly love them, but what we would not do is get an electronic one again.
No, I get that.
And we also have an issue. And I don't know if your wife has this issue too, because you're also tall like my husband. Matter of fact, you're taller than my husband. To find a sofa that he fits on well means that I do not.
Right. Yeah, we've had that issue for sure.
And it's finding dining room tables. I mean, it's a challenge when one of you has legs that swing because her feet don't touch the floor, and the other one can't fit his thighs under.
Yeah. No, that's
Short and tall people woes. There we go. Anyway. So, Diva Site, you are, of course, welcome. I'll give you the address.
Yeah.
Yes, I look like my feet swing on my sofa or station booth. She says at 5'2", I look like a child on most sofas. And I understand. I'm 5'3 3/4.
Yeah. I just want a seat I can fit in. I don't care. I don't care about your Oompa Loompas.
Well, we bought the sofa that fit him. So if that makes you feel any better, because I figure I could adjust. So that's why I always have my feet up.
Yeah.
Like he'll sit on the sofa as a sofa, and I can't do that.
No, that's fair. I get that.
So.
We don't have that anymore. We have a little recliner set that we got from an estate sale, but that's neither
Sorry,
here nor
people.
there.
We are off on Tangent City tonight. It's going to be fun.
At this recording, there's only like it's 1 week away, just about it's a little over 1 week away from Christmas, 2 weeks away from New Year's. Life is life, and you got caught up in a last minute grading thing that was a misunderstanding. So but you're almost. I'm assuming you're almost there. I know you and your work ethic, and
I'm
just
good.
lean
They're due
into
Thursday, and I only have one class left. And I have to say, honors is a biggest blessing for my grade hating heart. I hate grading stuff, and it's so much easier than what I've been doing in digital media. So
yeah. If I have to grade anything, it's going to have to be very specific. I don't want to sit there and have to read. Like you show me some. I think you showed me some of the stuff. Like I want something that's like check AA, BB. Actually, I'd rather have a computer program go, hey, these are right and these are wrong. And then somebody challenges it. I can go look at it. That's what I prefer.
That's that would be a Scantron, and that's a multiple choice.
Right,
but,
it's not what you're dealing with.
No, you can do something called specification grading. There's some iffiness about it where you have specific bars for them to meet, and it makes it easier for them and easier for you, sort of. My problem was I was reading reflection papers about teaching assistant and research assistant experiences, and I wanted to say something to them. I didn't want them to feel like they wrote this paper and no one read it and no one cared, because sometimes they have some really deep reflections. And so every single one of them, I'm so glad you had this experience with blah, 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 blah. And yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking I'd use ChatGPT. Hey, give me like 3 cool moments out of this reflection. Hey, I love that you had these fill in the blank moments in your paper. Good job, Sid.
That would require me having to put them all into ChatGPT.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Take me longer.
You and I are cut from different cloths.
Well, and it's also there's something called FERPA, and I'm not supposed to do that. I can do it in Copilot, I think. Anyway, moving on now.
Moving on. So we talked about we were struggling today. We did.
We were.
I thought we
it.
played. What?
We did it again, Charles. I think this is a distraction technique of yours.
I don't have a shelf. I'm in my studio.
what's in your studio now? What's a shelf is a metaphor for many things. For me, it also is a physical shelf, but for you, what is on your metaphorical shelf?
I'm kind of ready to get to Christmas, and not that I'm negative about it. I'm very neutral about it. I think it's gonna be fun with the family, but I'm ready to kind of get it over with and get life. Because I've had so much disruption in my schedule all year round, and in the last 2 months, I'm ready to get back to the world, because the world caught up to me. Right, holidays hit, now everybody's disrupted, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
I'd like to get, if the world can go back to normal, like flow of natural things, then maybe I'll feel my disruption will go down less. Because like I told you today, I might be on an ambulance Friday night. I had to realize for the third time this week, and we just started this week. But I had to remember, oh yeah, I actually had something booked on Friday morning, so I couldn't work the ambulance. And so yeah, so I'm still doing. Okay, I'll tell you this.
I will say your schedule is chaotic.
A little more than I would like. It's chaotic in a good way, but not the great way. And the great way would be you're jumping from speaking engagement, coaching to coaching, those kind of things. But I will say this: I am working with people on different areas of my life that actually appreciate and value what I bring to the table.
That's
And
nice.
it very much is. And the money is nice. It is making it easier to make my bills.
Good.
And even though I am getting on an ambulance, it is in a higher capacity. Like, I'm there to help build this thing out and teach the person who's going to run it how to run it correctly. And so it's a temporary. So for temporarily, I get regular money by going and doing actions,
Right.
but it's also going to be temporary in the sense that I value myself and they value me more than that. So it's a build and release kind of program. And so I don't get lost in the moment and get comfortable and lazy and undervalued. Right. So it's
for
good
you.
all the way around. So I'm happy. I'm happy with all that. Waiting for I need to call Phil because he was supposed to work on it, but he's had live and I had somebody else working on it. We're waiting for a good intro for the little brown pill so we can launch that, because we've done 3 episodes and they're just getting more and more fun to do. So
That's good.
that's exciting. We
Well,
both
and
hate
we're
Star
going to
Wars.
talk.
That's okay.
Huh?
Nothing.
What?
I said we both hate Star Wars. But I was just kidding. I'm being the Scrooge and snatching your presents. I
You
don't know why.
are. That's not very nice.
Although, no, it was not very nice. I'm not defending that. But on a side note,
Yes.
the one Scrooge we can all enjoy is the one at Universal for Christmas, because those actors that are doing Scrooge, not Scrooge, I said Scrooge, I meant Grinch. Grinch doing Grinch, so good. It is so funny. They actually have a little cult following. People are bringing little presents of onions and repeating memes back to them to see what they say, and
This
it's
is
good
over at
stuff.
Universal, right?
Yeah, it's Universal Studios.
And these are TikToks, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you live.
Grinchmas is so good, says Boo or Station.
Ah. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, I've never been to Grinchmas. We are going to get a day at Disney, but we're not going to any of the parks. We're just going to go have brunch at one of the hotels and then ride the hotel boats and sky lifts and all that kind of fun stuff, and then go to Disney Springs.
Okay.
So, and we are scheduled for sushi at Morimoto's.
Nice.
I'm very excited.
I'm assuming from your reaction there, it's really good.
It is superb. If you ever watch The Iron Chef on the Food Network,
Okay.
he was in the original Japanese show that it was based on, and then he was also in the American Iron Chef, and his sushi is amazing. I've had it
Very
in
cool.
Orlando and Vegas, and
Such fun. So,
now you can go to your launching into the topic. I just am not going to let you miss talking about your shelf.
it sounds like you slurred your speech there, which I love. That should be our shirt. Just a little Scotch bottle, and we say we're not going to miss you talking about your shelf. And people won't know, but we'll know, and it'll be funny. I love inside jokes.
It's true. We're going to surf the chaos to our shelf. And
Tyra and I keep trying to find a work day to really hammer out some of the things, like really get the Surf the Chaos logo down so we can put on some swag and different things. And I'm sure we got other things to clean up that I can't think of right now. It doesn't
we've got
matter,
stuff.
but yeah, but it is just life is life, and
Life is life.
you want to hit fast forward. How about what $1 million each? You just donate $1 million each to us a year
Sounds
in
lovely.
Patreon, and then we'll have it all ready for you by January 1st. It'll be easy.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I don't think I bought when's the next lottery draw?
I don't know. I'm in it though.
It's $1 billion.
Yeah.
I don't think I've bought tickets. That's bad. They have an app, by the way. If you live in Georgia, you can buy your tickets on an app.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody, every time somebody hears a lot of, oh, it's the fool's tax. Like, look, you have fun however you have fun. I've always said I'm not shutting the door to anything. I don't spend a ton of money on it. Maybe in a year, I might spend $50 on it.
Yeah,
and I guarantee you, if I audited my life or anybody else's that want to nitpick me, I'd find $50 to $100 in a year that was just dumb spending. Or even you didn't even realize it was there. So it's fun. It's out there.
And you're helping kids go to college.
Because
it feeds into the Hope Scholarship Fund, which is awesome. My mother's favorite thing was a scratch off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she loves scratch offs. She scratched off I wanted a mixer, and I wanted a nice mixer, and she had this power that she would get scratch offs, and then once she hit the money she needed to buy me the mixer, she'd start losing and stop playing. But she had the tickets to go cash them in, and that's my KitchenAid mixer.
Nice. That's a good one.
I miss her.
So, that's where we're at, right? It's the time just to kind of chill out. It's to reflect on life. It's to have a happy little moment. So that's what tonight's show is going to be. And yes, we're all about creativity. So we're going to talk about reminding ourselves of the happy moments that we've done this year, and whatever you can put in the chat, we want to celebrate with you as well. I think I'll speak for Devo. I think one of his happiest creative moments was he pulled the trigger and he came to Dragon Con this year, and it was a blast. He was amazing. It was cool stuff.
I'm so glad he came.
So, is there a new thing you tried this year?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Oh, is there a new thing I tried this year? Well, I'm trying to have a weekly show with you. Does that count?
Yeah.
That's new. I mean, before, because this was kind of a show that was, when we started it, was connected to the digital media track, and then we've broken it away from there. And so that's definitely something new. I started writing a cozy fantasy, which I haven't written that genre before. And I really, really like it. And I really like what I've written. And I hope to get back kind of in a groove during break into writing more. What else? What about you, Charles? What have you tried new this year? And out there in Twitch and YouTube land, what have you tried?
Two things. One was creating on a higher level. When you see somebody making their living doing doing digital media and creation, and with the numbers behind them to show it, and I don't play on that level. I mean, I can, and I believe I'm smart enough, and I'm kind enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. But I also know it's just timing in the world. And so there's so many different people I thought I could create with, just didn't, whatever. But with Josh Cooper Uploads of Fun coming in this year, we just kept hitting the same notes and the same notes and the same notes. And it came up 3 times. Once was I had him on here. There's a week you were gone, so I had him to fill in here, and I interviewed him. Then I don't remember how it came up another time, but it's basically our love of coffee and different things coffee. And I joked about, one of us joked about we should do a podcast about coffee. And then the second time I came up, we kind of joked, and it was kind of like, and finally the third time it came up, I just asked him, I was like, all right, man, are you serious? Would you consider doing that podcast? And he jumped in.
Oh,
and
awesome.
it was just like working with some of the ambulance people who go, like, the short side story. They were asking me, I don't know where they got the number from, but they were asking me, like, confirm what your rate was for teaching. Because they'd had me come in and do teaching for 2 days. But honestly, what that meant was I was really there as a consultant. Like, she did a lot of work and then asked me about some paramedic stuff. And I knew I brought value. I know I did. But the rate they quoted was really high. And I like even watched 2 episodes of Alien Earth while I was there, because that was just things get caught up. They're doing stuff I'm not needed. So I'm on my headphones, whatever. So I'm like, look, I didn't do as much as you think I did. And if you count all the hours I was there and you give me that rate, that's unbalanced to me, is all I could say. It's like, it's unbalanced.
Good for you.
You know, if it was if it was a client I didn't know and I said, hey, we're going to go XYZ, this is what we're going to do, and then you drug it out and made me wait, by all means, the meter's running. Yeah. But this is somebody who's really helped build me up, been there when I needed, and they're never asking me to lower rates. They're always pushing me to raise rates.
Good.
So I just said it was unbalanced. So we actually came to a very good agreement on what that time was worth to her. And so coming back to Josh, you know, it's been there for I don't know how long, but in my signature lines, of course, it says Rock God of Podcasting everywhere. And he actually, this is how we were actually, oh, that's how it came out the second time. He asked for a meeting because he asked if I did consulting. And he was going to start his own podcast, and he wanted me to consult on it. And so I put together a package and sent it to him. And he actually said it was lower than he thought it was going to be. And I used Chad to help me. You know, Chad GPT. I was like, okay, here's, you load in all, you know, as you do, you load in all your credentials, all your things, all this and that. Tell him basically what you're going to be consulting on. Help me get some market quotes. And I took kind of the middle ground of what they quoted and what I believed it would, the time it's not just the time you put in, but it's the time you've already put in for the years to get the expertise. But anyway, I felt like it's a fair quote. He felt like it's a fair quote. And so that's how the coffee thing came up again. Ultimately, we've been working together because it's just so much fun. And he did
those are the best partnerships. Yeah.
And he did what I would hope any good creator would. He figured it out. Right, because he has that. Now, it's not his drive. His drive is not to be the full-time editor. His drive is not to build the studio. Because you know what? After we talked the stuff, I gave him some basic advice, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going sideways. The whole point of that story was he actually said, he took it for what it's there for. He goes, man, you got the title Rock God Podcasting. This is a guy I need to talk to that's really going to help me get where I want to go in podcasting. And I was like, yes, I am. Thank you very much. So that was something new, was just to step out in that rope and
nice.
not put myself down mentally, not tell myself I'm lesser than because I don't have the millions of followers, not even say I'm a few steps behind, because I've done that before. I'm a few steps behind you in my progression. I don't even do that. And it's just, that's been good. And then the other one was Multiverse. Multiverse was the new con. And I got in, and it was very different. And there's a lot of parts I liked. There are some parts that I was like raising my eyebrow to, as I do. But that's because I'm snobby about some things.
Oh, I don't remember most of Multiverse, to be honest with you.
Well, you were in your room most of the time, if I remember that.
I got very sick. I got sick Saturday night, and that pretty much ended my Multiverse experience.
There was one other thing I did try this year, is I just really leaned into comedy and improv. I started saying I'm a comedian. And the first time I put it to the test was at Multiverse. I got onto this panel assuming that it was going to be like a teaching how to do this game kind of play. Never heard of Chuck Tingle. Never heard of half the people on the panel, including the person running it. I just knew Bob was there. And that was after I said, oh, this sounds like fun.
And you're like, it's Bob. It'll be fine.
And it was a continuance of a role-playing game from last year. And we had to make characters real quick. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do what I do best, which is dive in the deep end. And no, I'm not going to drown. I might make a big splash of myself, and my trunks might slide off. I don't know, but I am not going to die today. And
that'll be all right. As long as you don't end up
right.
arrested, you're okay.
You know, and I just got this inspiration, and because I love Bob so much, and I took all the stories he'd been telling all weekend long and mashed them into one character. It just went nuts for about 5 minutes or less, and it killed. The room, it was funny. People had fun, but I felt so good. And I'm watching Bob, and he's just, tears are just running down his. And he actually at some point goes, "Oh, he just took every story I told," and he's just eating it up and loving it. And I'm like, that was a first for me. It was fun.
Multiverse was actually the first place I did improv, like real.
All right.
It was the year before, not this past year, but the year before, and I was on a panel where we were evaluating artifacts from an archaeological perspective. And so you would have to talk about what the artifact was, and then the audience would vote on who either had the best story or the most likely or whatever. And I forget what my character was, but she was a professor at a university, and oh, I think this long piece of pipe, this used to, mice used to run through it. That's what they did. And he would run the mice through it so that it could get, could be food for the cat. And so, but it was the first time I had ever done, because I mean, I'm a teacher. We improv all the time. That's 100% the truth. But it was the first time that I'd done like real theater improv. So yeah, multiverse makes you expand your universe in different ways, I think.
Yeah, no, everything there. See, it was a great for me. It was a great opportunity. I want to see if you had anything like this throughout this year. Of I don't know anybody there, really. I mean, I knew some of you who would be there, like you were there.
Right.
I think Ben was there, Bob was there, but I don't know. It just kind of felt like this is not my normal circle of people, and so I can just go in and be the performer I want to be,
Yeah.
and do the con I want to do, and that was really cool. And so I didn't tell myself no to anything. If I thought that was interesting, it was interesting. And I was on a horror game panel. I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity ever again in my life, but it was a blast, and I had a good time with it. And originally I would think that's not for me, because I play like one horror game. It turns out I actually throughout my life have played a lot more and just kept forgetting about them, but I enjoyed them type of deal. So so for you, what did you have that opportunity this year to go, in essence, nobody knows me here, so I'm going to go be the person I want to be in front of them?
Sadly, everywhere that I go that are con related, people know me. Or not sadly. I think that's a good thing. I will say that we went into Chattacon this year. And I'm
Yes.
super sad that we didn't know it at the time, but it was the last Chattacon. And
I was guessing because it was number
we're
50.
yeah, but that was I didn't even cross my mind, because if you've done it 50 years, let's keep doing it. But it's a hotel issue, to be honest. And there were a lot of people that weren't in my usual space. So I
Sure.
would say that probably came the closest to it. Other place would be I've been doing this honors program gig. And that really, if I think about what's something that I did that I haven't done before this year, it's that. Because I've
Yeah.
taught for,
Yeah.
I mean, I've taught for, this is my 33rd year as a teacher.
Man, I'm
That's
only at
ins-
35. That's crazy.
That's insane. You're older than 35. But I've been teaching longer than most of my students have been on the earth. And this is the first time where I'm teaching new things. I'm teaching in new ways. I've never had a in the classroom peer assistant, teacher's assistant, which is a completely new experience for me, which ended up being really, really good. But yeah, and I'm teaching on a new campus. So different types of students. I'm on the STEM campus, former Southern Polytechnic. I'm used to being on the Kennesaw campus. Completely different vibe that I love. I love so much that I volunteered next semester to go back there and teach again. So yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've done different is, yeah, I know what mentorship is, but I've never taught about mentorship. I've never, a whole variety of things. I'm a lifelong learner, but I've never taught people how to be one. I've never taught about servant leadership or collaboration. It's all things that I do, but never things that I've taught about. And I haven't taught freshmen in a very, very, very long time. And that has been an experience. I do still like them. They are fun, but they are unhinged occasionally. So yeah, I think that would be my big, totally new audience, totally new material. Let's see how this flies.
You know, creativity can come in different outlets. You were touching on how you teach and some other things there in your life. I came up with an idea. So I'm on the board of the school that I used to teach.
Nice.
With EMS in Georgia, you have to have an advisory board, and there's certain aspects that have to be filled. And for a while, I was the private sector aspect. Technically, I still, I guess, might represent that, but he wasn't going to kick me off the board. Anyway, I'm one of the trusted people he has there. But the last board meeting we had, there's only like one a year, whatever. And there's a student, there's always a current student on this board to represent the current needs. And
nice. That's really good.
It actually is. It actually is one of the few things. There's a lot that the state does is dumb, but some of the stuff they do is really brilliant. And I think the board is fairly brilliant. If you treat it for what it's intended to do, which is what Tom does. It's like, let's actually get representatives that match our mindset, that won't just sit there and rubber stamp things, but also ask a bajillion, like, why is water wet? I don't understand, So, and he does. He has people who will speak up and go, well, I don't think this is how I do it. I would do it this way. And again, the student he picked was the same way. And the student was saying that they felt like there wasn't enough like FaceTime to get questions, because the way it's built, it's mostly online because it's a time thing. So, and most people want to flow through their lives. So it's my face lecturing for the most part, but it's lectures online. They read their books, and depending on how their class is set up, they either come on a scheduled class or they schedule it themselves. It depends on what they chose.
Synchronous or asynchronous.
Mm-hmm. And, but even then, it's like the skills, we're just doing the skills. We're doing skills. And by the time they were in a lecture or reading a book and go, oh, I have a question, they didn't write it down. They don't remember it class. So I just told Tom, because, me, I like to talk and be in front of people, but I don't like to go places. But hey, how about Wednesday nights? We start doing tutoring times. Like, yeah, we did that. So yeah, we did. We did do it before, and it just didn't take for whatever reason. I said, but this time, man, you and I have been trying to bring back our podcast anyway, so we could at least set that time aside to work on stuff together. And if nothing else, we can start putting it out live and maybe attracting new students in and answering their questions. Who knows? But sure enough, from the first week, I think there was 2 or 3 that showed up the first week, and it's been steady between 3 and 5 people every week. And they're showing up for 2 hours and they're asking questions and they're enjoying the process. And I love that, because it is teaching. It's not any kind of podcast. It's not any kind of recording, but it still is that moment of, that's where my crowd work is the best. Like, hey, give me a question and I can give you an answer that'll help you see it in a different way. And a lot of times even stories come up and so on and so forth. And of course I pop in my jokes and mess with people, but you can't not. That's very rewarding. Go ahead.
And I think why you're probably having a more positive experience with it this time around is a lot of these people probably went through COVID and did some online education. So they're a little bit more comfortable with it. We do more Zooms and team meetings. And so that may be a factor that's playing into it being more successful.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because it was pre-COVID when we did it. So let's see. There was another one that popped in my mind. Not a first. What is something, and Boo and John, whoever else is listening, this question for you too. What have you done this year that was a first? And you mentioned it, I think, right before we started the show, but we definitely want you to send in. So we're going to be, like, as you heard, we're going to be gone for the rest of the year, and then first Tuesday.
You've got time.
Yeah, it's January 6th, first Tuesday in the new year. We'll meet back. Hit us with your celebrated moments, and watch our link tree and our social media, because we're going to be putting out our own SpeakPipe channel, but you can still use the Wise and Nerdy one, which would be wisennerdy.com/calldad. And
it's actually linked right now in our link tree.
There you go. We'd love to hear any kind of voice message. And on this note, we'll play Devo's.
Oh, yay.
But, we want to hear what was cool you did this year. Any of the questions that we're asking here in the show, what did you struggle with, celebration, anything like that. And anything you want to talk about for 2026. We're going to be talking about reflections and resolutions on the first episode, I do believe. Because,
True.
Where
are we going?
I am just a sucker for, theming things like everybody else does in the world. So I was leading that charge.
You're too funny.
No such thing. All right, so this is out with 2025 and in with 2026.
I would say that 2005 has been a very creative year for me, digitally at least. I kind of credit it a little bit to Charles and Joe, the wise and nerdy folks, and I also will credit that to, of course, Dragon Con, getting to see some great media creators, content developers, and so forth. That was fantastic. I really have enjoyed this show. I spent a lot of time doing training, leadership, this and that. But, it never hurts to get a little refresher. And it's a great thing about this show. I think that come Thursday, Joe and Charles is going to find something in their stocking for the show. So I've done a little video editing in the last 2-3 weeks, kind of working off and on, kind of milling around my brain, doing a little digging and putting together things. So that's been a lot of fun. I haven't done it for a long time, and I'm kind of excited to do that. But anyway, I look forward to the show and going into a new 2026.
It's absolutely going to have some dad joke in it, I guarantee.
Oh, I can't wait. Devo said I cannot wait. Bring it on.
I do always enjoy when somebody takes their creative energy to fuck with me. It's like the jib jabs, not jib jab. It's not jib jab. It's
the old jib jabs where you would put the faces on people.
They're still around. Yeah,
I think they are. I'm gonna find out.
Because I know at least I saw a commercial I think this year, but I know last year when my employees did that, they came and took my picture and then did this elf photo with a bunch of us doing. It's funny. I definitely enjoy that. I used to do that myself. That's how I got started in my podcasting career, is working with two guys on brain and cutting together my favorite moments from their episodes and putting together little sound bites from people and arranging things, and much like what Devo does. I just make him face because, one, he helps Joe, throw me under the bus often enough, where like he's made intros that don't have my voice. I'm like, but Joe could have made his own intro. He didn't need you to make that. And my voice belongs on the show. Why y'all messing with my show? But he did a song. One of the first creative things he did a song for our, was that our 300th episode?
Jeez, are you all for Wise
No,
and
this was for
Nerdy?
Pokemon Go.
Okay.
It was one of the big numbers, and he just did this whole pirate song, and it really worked into the whole show and the Pokemon and everything else. It was really great. And we played that a lot. We still play it on Wise and Nerdy every once in a while. So yeah, I do. I think that's a fun thing when somebody is inspired by anything that I do that makes them want to be a part of it. I love that.
I can't wait to hear it. So. And Earth Station Boo had something that she's celebrating.
1 year sober. 1 year of episodes there.
1 year of, which is amazing because like most podcasts, God knows outside of this, and actually Leveling Azeroth went on for more than a year. But if I'm doing it by myself, I get overwhelmed. So I am super proud because they have to get together. I think is there 3 or 4 of you that do Earth Station Boo? I can't remember. I know there's at least 3. And to get 3 people or 4 people schedules and get them, everybody on air and doing what they're supposed to, that's a lot of coordination. It's just Charles and me here.
Yeah, the more voices, the more interesting it can get. Also, sometimes it does help if somebody who's good at scheduling the thing does all the scheduling. Somebody else is good at the promotion. Hopefully, let's see.
It's good to have a workhorse.
Mike Faber always says that most podcasts don't last more than 6 episodes. Yeah, no,
that's right.
That's yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes. I have another episode of Finding the Stories recorded.
Do you
I just
really?
need to publish it. Yeah, it's sitting on my other computer. I just need to get it put out.
I like finding the stories.
So I've changed it up because I had a vision of what it was. Well, okay. I had a vision of what I thought it was supposed to be, and because I saw what it was, it took me a long time to shift into what it needs to be now, evolve it, if you will. And it's going to be more flyby conversations. And I did one, I was riding with my friend Jerome, and he owns the name. It's like it's a promotional thing for his CPR school. And we were riding around talking, and I pulled out my little necklace microphones and said, here, put this on, and just threw the camera up in the dash. And we were sitting still, we weren't driving, and just started talking about education and school, and just continued on that conversation that we had. And, we did about 45 minutes there, and this was very funny.
Very different, because, finding the stories was very polished.
Yeah. And, it's still going to it still has the opening, still has the closing, still has some polish to it, but it's still going to have a little bit different energy, because it's going to be more in the moment, because I'm finding I'm not motivated to plan things, and I need to move more towards that, but I need to capture a moment when I can.
And sometimes you just have to adjust to what life throws you.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. I never try to separate my life out, right? But it is like oil and water to the normies and the creatives. It is the normies in my life have no clue. It's I don't have a better analogy, Tyra. So just surf the chaos.
I'm going with you, sir. I'm going. Let's go.
It's like the thing that everybody says when somebody turns out to be a serial killer next door. Oh, I never had any idea. They were so nice. It's like that, except I'm not a serial killer. I'm a rock out of podcasting, because they know I do media. They'll ask, how are things going, without any clue of what any answer means. And so this one I did with Jerome. And I've done other things. I've cut him some videos, helped promote my school. I've done some stuff. And he watches some of the caffeinations. Like if I put it up on Facebook, he'll see it, whatever. Right? So it's like, again, there's some other people like him and other people. So that's your podcast now? I'm like, no, not at all. That is a 1 minute thought is what that is. That is not a podcast. But I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's moving you. I'm glad that's the whole point, is to find another connection with people.
Well, and that's actually another thing that you started this year that you didn't really do before, was confine yourself, blessed God, to a minute instead of 75,000. I love it.
Now I'm going to be definitely swinging back into more whatever. I'm sure when a thought hits me, I'm just pulling up the camera, doing a TikTok. Either it's going to be a caffeination or just a random thought, or the other day I finished Alien Earth, and I was like, I liked it. I'm not a huge fan of the Alien series. They're okay. Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed watching them. I wouldn't go back and watch any of them. I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but I enjoy that universe. But I really like the series, and that's all I wanted to say. So I said it, and posted it up. But so I went to whatever tool and had it cut viral clips. Didn't quite like how it found. I'm going to try a different tool. But it cut some, because I knew to share it out, we're going to need minute-long clips. And the AI, at least with open clips, AI seems to be, for podcasting, a pretty good, refined tool to go in and go, okay, this one hits. It's usually a good moment. It makes sense. The camera works, and it lines up, and everything's good. And it would take me forever. I'll overthink it. I could take Geek Meet Social, I wouldn't say necessarily all day long, because I know you, so I get into that problem when I know people too. Going, but that part of the story is great, but that part, so where do I cut the story? AI just goes, hey, boom, boom, and you get it, and you go, most of the time it makes sense.
You're like, you're close, maybe a little this way or that way.
But it definitely saves me time, and not just the physical editing. Like I said, I do drink the Kool-Aid. When I start listening to cut things, after I've already edited things down, right? I edit stuff for flow, like finding the stories. But then to go back and cut finding the stories into a minute-long blurb, I was like, but this part is relevant, and the part after is relevant. And I like it.
It's hard to choose.
So I did that, and I sent it to him. And then I went ahead and produced the opening and closing, did the music fades, all that jazz, put together the show, sent him a copy so he could listen to it.
That's good.
This is where the normies just kill me. He goes, oh my God. That thing was so amazing. I think you struck gold here, man. You might need to do something like this. I'm like, I know. Thank you. I'm actually talking to celebrities on the show and other stuff, but I appreciate you, man.
This is what I do.
It really was fun. It was like that. I mean, he was really meant it. He was like, "Oh, thank you."
Oh
It
yeah,
so
no,
good.
he was sincere.
Yeah, he was sincere. But I'm afraid that nobody's gonna watch a 45-minute anything, And I don't know basically he wants to cut it down himself, even though I gave him like 6 clips already. I just reassured him. You had to download it to touch it, right? Because you can't just mess with it in Dropbox, or not Dropbox, Google Drive. So go ahead, do what you want. If you destroy it, you can go download another copy. Right. It's all good. And I still have a copy on my hard drive, whatever.
It's like we have backups.
But I was like,
backups.
But it also triggered me. So I'm going to ask you this for 2026, your prediction, if you will. Or looking back at 2025 and seeing how things have gone. A little bit of a long story here.
Okay. I don't understand the question. So when you finish the
There's
story,
no question
we're going to
yet.
have to...
There's no question
Oh,
yet.
okay.
So story to question.
I'm ready. I need caffeine.
You need scotch. So he says, I'm afraid that nobody will watch. And I wanted to go into this lecture of I do what I want in this world. And I will tell my stories and the people will be there. You know how I know the people will be there? Because I'm there and I want to see the 5-minute story, the 10-minute story. I want to watch the documentary that's an hour and a half long. And people are in the theaters doing that too. There's an audience out there. And I was like, it's not what he meant. Don't jump on anything. But I get so fed up with the doom scrolling mindset that we do have in the world today that I know that not everybody's like that, because people like Ray William Johnson would not be the creator that they are. I mean, they make their living creating. They tell true crime stories, and they take 5 minutes long on TikTok. But he's not just sitting there looking at you doing it. He has developed through time a team, and now he partners with this AI that pays him, that they do animations for him. So half of it's him at screening, the other half of it's cuts with animations representing what he's talking about and those kind of things. And it's very polished and it's very edited. So, it's very good. But it's like, no, he's got the blue check mark, and on TikTok you have to earn that. But also I know, I've looked at his numbers and stuff. He makes a living doing this. So there is a world that will watch it more long form. But how do you think we can bridge from the 5-second mindset to a 45-minute mindset?
It's so hard. And I'll tell you why I think it's hard. The spaces that a lot of people would take the time to listen to that 45 or watch that 45, mostly listening, was when we were in our cars commuting to work.
Yeah, okay.
And now a lot of people work from home, so that takes that away. Our lives have only gotten more complicated, and there's more competition for those 45 minutes. So if you think about television, we used to have CBS, NBC, and ABC, and that was it. That was who was putting out the major stuff. And then HBO came on the scene, and then Cinemax doing things, we'll just say. And then there was the Sci-Fi Network and MTV, and it just kept going. And so we have so many more things that are competing for our eyeballs, for our attention. And I think that's probably the hardest thing about longer form content is they have to make a bigger commitment to you than just, I can do this while in 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 minutes or a minute. So I think that's the point. I think once you build an audience and you have a group of dedicated people, then that is something that definitely can happen. But you got to figure out how to get them there.
That's the change in the universe I need to see, is the social media platforms we have now and how we use those platforms as consumers does not build an audience. It changed. You put a D on it. It's in change. It's in flux constantly. And yes, it did change, and then just now it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. And
ooh, Doctor Who moment.
But that's the thing. Like my wife, I had to say, okay, I need you to stop doing that, because she'll look at it and go, oh yeah, I saw this, and flip up and like, but in that 3 seconds you're on the screen, I saw you didn't share, you didn't like. I know you didn't watch the whole thing because you never do. Because there's been times I've got to the end and said, if my wife's still watching, well, good for you, or some smart aleck thing. And when I do it at the beginning of the thing, like I'll do it within 20 seconds, it's funny and she'll catch it. Anyway, I didn't ask for reports, Instagram. Thank you very much. Once I downloaded edits, it started, which I do still like as a tool, and I did the cuts. It does something, even though I do not post from edits, I straight post everything myself. Somehow it's still connected. Edits and that are still connected somehow, some way. Even though I don't know how. But I'll get, sometimes it'll be from Instagram, sometimes it'll be from edits, but I'll get notifications. This is the dumbest one I'd ever seen. I had like 80% more views on this video with a watch rate of 1 second. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the dumbest stat I ever. What that has nothing to do with me or how I create or when I post. If 800 people watch, but they only watch for 1 second, that's in front of 800 fucking goldfish who will never understand what I'm trying to say because you didn't even give me 2 seconds to get something out of my mouth.
Right.
If it's a caffeination, you got a set. All you saw was the caffeination logo and whatever I put on it for that day. That's all you saw, and you moved on. So I've done it without the logo on it. Sometimes same effect, right? There's no rhyme or reason for me right now.
Good for you for trying that.
So yeah, well, I try all kinds of things, but there's no. I in my brain cannot see any rhyme or reason how any of these algorithms do. So I post, but I'm hoping to see in the near future. Don't know what it'll look like exactly, but a better way to connect what we do, you and I, universally and literally, to the audiences that are buying tickets to go see the McElroys, or they're buying tickets to go see Smartless, or they're buying tickets to see Small Town Murder, or Fill in the Blank, and or they're you're getting. You still got lots of shows that are 30 minutes, hour long. They're getting hundreds of thousands of downloads. Right. That gap, it's almost like it's been gate kept to a point in a bunch of different areas that it just has moved around. Our station Boo always having to be the new purple cow.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Seth Godin.
I recognize his name. I don't know a lot of his quotes. That's a good one.
He wrote a book called The Purple Cow.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
But,
something Purple Cow, but it's the
Our
Purple Cow book.
entire history of humankind has had storytellers throughout
Oh
it.
yeah.
So there's no way in any inch of my being that I'm going to believe that storytelling is over. But I do understand my wife wants a great story, but that's not what she's on social media for. She wants to see car crashes and the babies laughing and the animals and drag queens and just, you see my thumb going, just keep going, right? That's what she wants for social media. So now I'm just getting drunk philosophical. How do we get to where people want to listen to what we have to say? By jolly.
I think we first have to find our audience, figure out where they are, and what is it that motivates them to want to see it? What is it that connects with them? So there's what is her name? Oh,
Taylor Swift.
I love Taylor, and I do not wish to talk about the Chiefs this week because we're in mourning right now. But it's going to be a great wedding, and that's all I'm going to say. But who is she? She's something, and she posts something positive every day, and that's kind of her line. And if I see her stuff, I literally stop and watch it because I know it's going to uplift me. It's going to be a great story. She's a great storyteller. She shares really things that make your heart, will make you tear up. There's Jen, who's a nurse that I follow. If I see her stuff, I stop and watch it because she cracks me up. She literally cracks me up. But she also does a lot of good things. Like she'll go and see, like she'll be on her For You page. She'll get an account. Like there was a mom and daughter bookseller, and they didn't have but 2 people at their live. Yes, Jim Hamilton. She is a gem, absolutely. And she was like, "Come on, be quiet. Let's go watch them." And then they exploded and sold everything in their store. So doing stuff for good. I think it probably all goes back to that. There's Gregisms. Do you know Gregisms? Okay, Greg is a teacher in New Orleans, and he teaches theater. And he teaches mostly I don't know if he does kindergarten, but youngins, like elementary school kids, and he is hilarious. He'll tell you about what they say, and he's just this nice gay man who likes a lot of Christmas lights. And I'm not going to tell you what bomb exploded on his partner's yard with the Christmas lights he bought. But all of them have some way they connect emotionally. And I think emotional connection is one of the things. Yes, find your joy is his big tagline. Finding something that emotionally connects with an audience and brings them something. Because, like, our world is a little depressing sometimes. And a lot of times, I mean, just look at this past week. And we've got enough depressing, horrendous things that happened. That finding your joy, finding something that makes you laugh, finding something where you see people being kind to each other, I think that can be one of the ways to connect to people. I think you have to connect emotionally for them to want to experience more of your content. I think that's why, like, going back to Taylor Swift and more so talking about Travis and Jason, their podcast was big before she came around.
Yes.
And it was big because it was two brothers having a conversation, and we were just there for the ride. And once women started watching, they didn't change. They're exactly the same, trust me. But we all connected with them on an emotional level because we're sitting here watching two bros get to talk about their lives and talk about sometimes about their emotions and about
Which is
football.
the heart of what podcasting is.
Yes.
It helped them jump to an audience, being that they were football stars.
Yes. That's how you get $100 million from Amazon for your podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, but if you break it down, the reason people keep coming back is not because they're two football players.
No, absolutely, absolutely. That just helped the limelight, the spotlight, if you will. It never helped the creativity.
No, it's like I love. Oh my gosh, Doctor Who, my favorite Doctor Who. His name has just left me.
Tennant Smith?
Yes, Tennant. David Tennant does a podcast. I like David Tennant. I like him as an actor. If he was crap interviewing people, I would not listen to every single episode. And I do. And I get happy, like he finally came back with a season 3. And I love it because I think he is a fabulous interviewer. Like I always tell people, if you want to look at somebody who's a really good interviewer, who's a star, go listen to Jason Kelsey because I think he's awesome. But David Tennant is a pro. And I will listen to everything he does. So him being Doctor Who got me there, but his abilities is what made me stay. So how do you get them there? Well, you've got to either get them there through emotions. You've got to find your audience. You've got to capture them in some ways. And I actually think your caffeinations over time, because again, these things don't usually happen overnight, have the potential to emotionally connect with people. I'm not so sure with that starting sound that you have now.
This suits up. It gets attention.
I mute. But my little AD brain goes, what the was that?
Yeah. What's funny is Erin has ADHD brain and she likes it. So it hits everybody differently. I did it because it cracked me up. But also I went, hey, it kind of shocks you for a second. You don't just go swipe. It's kind of what I'm aiming for. And for those of you who haven't seen it, it's I don't remember where the original audio came from. I'm sure it's TikTok somewhere. But it's somebody like Jersey, New York, like, coffee. I'm making coffee here. You want a cup of coffee? I'm making coffee. Yeah. So,
yeah, and that's what it makes me do. I have very sensitive ears.
It's very loud, yeah. I even pushed my microphone back. That was crazy.
I know. And I did this.
Yeah.
Which is, I pull my headphones out for those of you that are audio only.
What I can do, I will try to help because I don't want to. So you can't please everybody. And so when I do think about the autism spectrum and ADHD, so I try to, everybody's different, but it's like, well, what are some universal things? So I can take the volume level, I think, on it and bring it
maybe
down.
That would help.
So it's not. So right now I just put it in and I just cut it to where it fits where I want it. I don't actually adjust anything. So I can look at adjusting the audio down a little bit and seeing if that helps.
See if that helps.
Yeah, but the whole idea is to snatch you and go, listen up for a second.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to listen for a second. I also had a student write me real fast that I had to look at. Best view. Oh, what is our...
We don't ever log into Twitch and actually moderate as we do.
I know, and we really do need to. So, I teach how to live. By the way, I'm teaching my how to live stream class this summer. our synchronous first time. And that was something I did for the honors program. Their first time having a live discovery class synchronous online. So I taught about how to live stream, and Charles came on, and Vito came on, and
I think Scott came on, maybe.
Scott came on. My friend Channing came on with you at the end to hear their stuff. And I'm going to be doing it again this summer. And I have, now that I've done it, I have a better, like, I got some jam stuff I'm going to do, because keeping them interested is hard. Not going to lie.
It's yeah. Well, I mean, it's live, and they're all, because they're already not there.
Right. They're online.
They're all distracted by other things. Even, I mean, I'm always on my phone or doing. I mean, I've got two screens whenever I do meetings. I'm always doing something else.
Right.
So yeah, we all get distracted. It's hard to, even in that the tutoring one I'm doing for EMS, it's hard to know you've grabbed their attention and get them into asking something, but it does, because the nature of what that is, it does get them to do it. The nature of what you're doing, because it's a wholly volunteer. Like, you don't have to show up. So the fact that they showed up, they're putting an effort.
Oh no, they have
Whereas
to show
your
up.
class
Right,
is
right.
mandatory.
They have to.
Yeah, so it is a little bit. Honestly, though, with your classes, it's hard to get them involved, because either, like with the freshman class, I was like, look, you knuckleheads. But like with the other classes, it's like they're into making notes, and they're already thinking about the steps they want to take in their projects. So they're not engaging back out, but they are showing engagement because they're in the room. But yeah.
Well, and we talked about how, because we're getting ready to do a study this spring on engagement in class. And the problem is there are, and especially since we're honor students, and I'm just going to make some stereotypes because I would fit many of these back in the day when I was an honor student. Neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic, also a lot of times introverted. Those are things that we see a little bit more in our population of honor students than maybe in the general population of university students. And a lot of that, the engagement is up here. It's not being vocalized. And that's even in an in-person class. So they may look like they're completely disconnected, but they're not. They're completely full-on engaged, and you don't see that until you read their reflection. So I think that's very true when you're doing those kind of experiences. And I have no idea where we were going with any of this, Charles. I knew we were talking about audiences and how to build them. Oh, you have knighted somebody. Did you just knight Earth Station Boo?
Yeah, she's now mod. You could mod somebody. I was like, oh, log in, dink, hit the button, you're modded.
That's so much better. So like I ran, during COVID, we had something called Alcon at Kennesaw State, and we did it live. And you and Tony were our moderators, and we had a good time, actually. I really enjoyed, I think, is it Steve Carter? Carter was there, and two other actors that were in Atlanta that were in the Marvel universe were on there. And we had a really good time, except for we were doing a D&D one night, and I was in charge of the stream, and nobody had showed me how to moderate. Because this is long before I was doing Twitch with all of you. Even now, I would be like, I would be like, help. So thank you, Earth Station Boo, for coming to our rescue. Thank you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope.
You know, engagement is a very important thing for creators of all levels. I work with somebody, they have 12 million followers across the board.
Nice.
And they normally launch a video that, they'll see hundreds of thousands of views, right? All they really care about, and they really know the numbers and how it breaks down, and it's surprisingly small, that 3%, if you get 3% of a large audience to interact with comments or likes or shares, that's huge. Like, oh my God, that is not an acceptable world. That is, we are living in that's a commercial world. That is so dumb. Anyway, sorry, I got my soapbox for a second.
No, it's true.
I know, but he's talking about how, how it's funny because it matters to him, the engagement, that when somebody comments, he's in there commenting back and engaging with them, and I do that for the comments I have on the Caffeinations. And I'm looking forward to the day where it's a problem where I have to go respond to 800 people. You know, that's a
Yeah,
lot of
we're looking-
responding,
yeah,
but you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
at some point you'll figure it out. But right now I respond to 2, so I'm looking forward to responding to 5 or 10. But
You're like, I'm
but
there.
the point is though, he was saying like he knew the algorithm was off because he had a big video that had almost 1 million views, and the likes and everything, you know, all the interaction was good. He averaged like 5-6%. And then he had one that had like the algorithm squashed it, but he still had 4% interaction. So he's like, man, you see what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you know, you're I can pick up the little Chinese that I learned at the shop to understand what you're saying, but I don't understand the basic math enough to say you're seeing the patterns disrupted because interactions are still there. Your people are still there. 300.
I am so sorry. I'm trying to find something to share with you from TikTok, and it just like exploded on my screen.
Yes, it does that.
I am very
It does
sorry.
that. No, you're fine. But I want to say this to everybody. You know, like Earthation Boo, you're commenting. Devo's commenting. Just show up and say here. I'm here. Just when you
Yeah.
just that little. It's not about it builds our numbers. It moves us up. For me, it's just a cool thing to go. Hey, I see that. I see you there. That's really good.
So Charles is wondering when I'm dropping into the private
I'm
chat.
trying
I
to
promise
get
to
it,
get.
yeah.
Don't worry about it right now. I'll tell you when.
Okay. But I did just copy it. So that's another thing I want to see differently. I'm sure I'll refine the thoughts, and we'll get more into it in the next episode in January when we talk about resolutions. We've got to be okay. Real world story. There's a place in Atlanta called Eats. It's been there for
Yes.
50, 60 years, whatever, longer. I don't know. It's been there forever, right? It's shutting. It's closed now. But over November, it was a big deal. Made all the newspapers, all this other stuff that is closing down. For the last week, people were lining up out the door, and everyone's like, I can't believe it's going away. You didn't go.
Right.
You didn't go. That's the only reason anything dies is because you don't participate in it.
Well, sometimes
Well, okay,
not.
you know,
Yeah.
anything
There
that's
are-
love, that's
there-
good. Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. There are sometimes situational shit.
Sure. You know, Tyra's got to start taking me more universally and less literally, because I trigger her every week in something
I'm just
literal.
like, dude, there are other things. I mean,
But
I
in
don't-
this
yeah.
story, it's ultimately if your favorite restaurant, what your favorite TV, my wife used to say this, why does every show we like go away? It's like, well, one, we like different things than other people, and it's just not that big commercial viability. But also, we weren't enough. When you put money into something, you have to have so much return.
True.
We're not putting a ton of money in this. Is not return as creators, but our return as creators is knowing that we reached somebody, that it made you laugh, that it made you think, that it gave you inspiration, that it pissed you off, and here's your idea of what we should have said differently. You know, the fact that we touched somebody's life, I think, is way more important, and I'd like to see more of that. And I try to give it. I try to. On TikTok, see, that's a weird thing. I'm right there with most people. I don't comment a lot of things on TikTok, but I'm trying to. If I have an actual thought, like a positive thought or something, I will actually try to pop it in now.
Yeah, I've had to train my students to not look at their followers or to look at really a lot of times engagement. I said, really what matters is if they're watching it. Because people, and I always tell people, look and see how you experience social media, and probably the people that are part of your target market are experiencing it the same way, unless you're like targeting somebody who's completely different from you. Like if we were targeting teenagers, I'd have to go find a teenager and talk to them about, how they interact. But a lot of interact with social now is we're being entertained and we're scrolling and we're not liking, we're not following.
Right.
So you're looking at what's your reach, what's your frequency, what's the time spent watching. Those are going to be statistics that are more important.
And to me, if those are the statistics I have to lean into, then I'm not doing something right, because I don't care about those. I do care about how I reach, reach not being the same meaning. How I actually get somebody to cross that barrier of swipe. I liked it, swipe, but I didn't engage. And I'll tell you, if I watch your video, I have built in such a habit on TikTok. That's why I love TikTok algorithm, because you teach it. You hit heart, you can hit share. If you watch the whole thing, now heart, share, and watching it, now you're just helping the creator.
Right.
But I know if I watch a video all the way through, TikTok will think I like it. But if I hit heart, sometimes the thing will go really aggressive on, here's another video like that, and another video like that. But that's okay. And especially if I hit follow, like within the first hour of following somebody, I'll see 10 of their videos. I'd rather have that than not. That needs to be fixed, but that's okay. But if I tried to tell my wife, and I had to show her at one point, hey, you want more funny baby videos and more animal videos? You have to hit the heart button. You hit the heart button, guess what? They're going to start showing up. And sure enough, they did. And yet, there's lots of videos that she'll consume. And she'll even show me and she'll enjoy, but she won't interact with it.
Do the thing.
That must be a normal human thing.
Is.
But that means the videos you want will go away. Because either you just don't see the creator because the For You feed thinks you don't like it. Or,
but if you spent time watching it, it's going to count. It just is.
But it's so like,
I can look at X and I can look at Instagram, and it absolutely follows what I spent time on.
I think to a
it
point
is all
for
about
TikTok.
people.
Yeah, but I'll find I follow. I don't know how many people I follow, but I follow them because I want to make sure I get your content. But that's the thing on TikTok. Once you start following somebody, I find like Stoner Gump. I will go, man. It's been like, holy crap! It's been like a week or two. I haven't seen any of his videos. I have to go to my follow page, find him, go to his page, and like a few more of his videos for it to start back into my For You page again. Yep.
A lot of times, I don't look at my following page on. I refuse to call it X on Twitter, but my FYP page is awesome. It's all Swifties and Chiefs football. There's a link that I'm hoping Charles will post. It's for my one of my student groups called Backspace. And they had something miraculous happen on TikTok. And we actually talked about this in class for their final presentation. They had the video that's going to be linked. It's had 1.1 million views. They went freaking viral like crazy people. Before that, they were getting like 1,100. They got like 3,100, 2,400.
Now, the one pause that. Is this the one with the 71 seconds of 2000? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
152,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Now you said how many views?
1.1 million at this point.
So yeah, that boggles my mind. But I mean, by all means, 150,000 people are awesome that they hit hard. That's amazing. But that is probably in the 3 to 4% range.
And if you look at, well, not when they started. So if you look at it, they also have about 1,400 comments and 28.5 thousand saves and 20.4 thousand shares. And the reason is these were jingles that were around in 2000s. Their target market is being a Gen Z throwback hub for stuff. So they locked onto their target market, and suddenly one day they hit something that just clicked. And there are other videos after it have been successful. Like they have one that's up at 300,000, but not as successful as, of course, the 1.1 million. But they managed to get 2,700 followers, and I've never had a group organically be able to do that.
Nice.
And that was without following. They're only following 16 people.
Yeah, that's and that's the thing.
It's crazy.
Sometimes I feel like it's timing. Sometimes I feel like it's tricking the algorithm. But at the same time, I'm not trying to take away anything they did because it is very amazing. It's the kind of thing I would watch and the kind of thing I would like. And I love that kind of throwback. It's not what I can do. It's to me, it seems like that's an easy thing. I could go curate stuff. I don't want to be known for curating things. I want to be me.
They also do their own stuff. Like they did interview clips and
they don't do as well, do they?
They do better on Instagram than they do on TikTok.
Because it's a different beast, and that's what's crazy. And that's why we'll post everywhere. But it's like
There's
I don't
definitely
know. It's weird how TikTok is.
There's definitely a push on Instagram for you to, even from Facebook, to differentiate the type of content and to tailor it for what Instagram is doing. Hashtags gone away. So just learn how to write your copy. On TikTok, where they know that they're entertaining people, they're definitely doing stuff that connects more with the heart. So they did one where they went to I don't know what this one is. What my mom thought I was spending my $20 on at the book fair. That's their other big one.
The book fair fun. No, they
But
tapped into a great
they
concept.
did. And I wish the one thing, and we talked about how to be prepared for viral, is they had some places to send them, but they weren't. Like they have an actual really good podcast. They have an amazing blog that's exceedingly well written, not by AI, over on their website, but there isn't the link to it. They don't promote it like they should. They don't connect it like they should. So they weren't really ready to go viral. And so always have, like, I talk all the time, have your own website, have your own content. So like if you go viral one day with a caffeination, I'm hoping that if you get like 30,000 followers from it, that they are looking to see, where can I get more content from him? Where's the more stuff? And hopefully they would find it, but you're going to be set up for that. At least I hope so.
This one part of my eye is itching like crazy, and it's like something, I don't know.
Oh,
stop! It's
I am
weird.
so sorry.
Well, I always have the
do-
link tree, and here's
Yes.
the other thing: I don't. Everything.
Yes.
This will always be the frustration of my life in this world. Nothing can be for the greater good of people, and still make money. It could be, but that's not how our world freaking works. And so
Jen
everything
Hamilton
is
makes
set
money.
up. I'm not saying I'm not saying the people. I'm saying the tools. Nothing is set up to just go, hey, Jen Hamilton, we think you better our society. We just want to amplify your voice. No, it's like, okay, TikTok says I could put a link in there, but they kind of maneuver it and they try to force you into this lemonade link too. And I'm like, no, I just want to be able to put up my website and do that. And
Right.
literally now TikTok, I think there's a way I can change it, but they don't make it easy. But it now
No,
says
I
eliminate
don't.
plus one other. I'm like, no, beefhead. It is my website and one other, not the other way around.
Well, that's because they're not there for you. They're there for them.
Exactly. But how are we going to,
But-
other than, yes, how am I supposed to, how are people supposed to know when you say, oh, put your link in the bio, because if you say .com too many times, we're going to squish your video, because that happens too.
It did used to happen.
But
I will tell you that TikTok has never been about you. TikTok is always about earning money for TikTok.
what
And
social
there were-
media
and-
has been about the creator?
I would say that it's much easier. Like, okay, so on on Instagram, I hated not being able to have a link in content. That drives me freaking crazy. I hate having to have a link in bio. But at least I could have a link that goes to my website. TikTok,
But it'd benefit you
It's-
more if you could put link in content.
it does, which is why I stress stories, because on stories you can do that.
Stories, people have to. It's a
Stories
mindset, right?
stories are
Sometimes
meant
they
for
will
your
pop up, but and that's the other thing. It's like my stories aren't meant for my people. My stories are meant for new people because my people know who the F I am and they already like my stuff.
Okay, you don't get it.
No,
So
I
here's
don't
the-
because it's so frustrating because it should be.
It's not.
We
That
can all
part
make
is
money
actually really
together
good.
if you just would let go of all the gatekeeping.
I will say that here's what you do is you post your caffeination on your page and you're hoping you're getting to FYPs or what have you. But if you want to get it to the people who already follow you that are going to help give it social cred, that are going to like it and all those other things, you put it in your stories because then it will send people to there and they can like it and they're already following you. They've already committed to you. And so stories are actually a way when you don't have a good reach on your feed to the people that are following you, do stories because that will go to the people that are already following you.
Okay. How does that grow your audience if it's already hitting the audience you have?
But then what happens is every time they like it, every time they share it, every time they comment on it, that tells Instagram that, hey, this is a good post. Let's show it to more people. It's the same thing I say to every single nonprofit. If your people are not commenting, liking, and sharing your stuff, you need that help because what that help does is it tells every single one of the social media platforms out there that, hey, this content is actually good. I should share this. I should look at this. Bob has liked it. I should go see it. That is why it matters.
We're gonna have to talk about this in another episode because it sounds like you're just contradicting yourself all over the place. I don't know.
No, that was not a contradiction.
When you say
It
stories are
gives
just
it-
for your audience, but yet
They-
somehow it shares out, that makes no sense to me.
Stop. Listen to me for just 1 second. When people that are already following you, you know they're going to like your content, right? But it's not showing up on their feeds because, let's face it, organic reach sucks, right? But they'll see it in their stories. So they're already following you. They're looking at their stories. When they like it, what that does is it puts it into the algorithm of, hey, there's another person who liked this. Maybe this actually is worth showing to other people. It's called social cred. Remember social cred?
I think it's called social manipulation.
It's called social cred. It gives it credit. It says, hey, this piece of information is good. Let's show it to more people. It's the same thing that happens on TikTok on an FYP page. And I've seen it constantly with my students. So when you first put out a video, they will show it to more people on an FYP page. If people don't like it, if people don't share it, don't comment, don't watch, they start showing less and less of your videos. So the more that you can get people liking, sharing, commenting on your videos, the more people it will be shown to. So by sharing that post on your stories, you're getting the people that already support you are probably not seeing it in their feeds to go, oh yeah, I like that. And that's what helps give it social cred, to be shown to other people on your feeds.
I do declare I want to transcend all of that mess and just find my audience, because my audience is there, and I'll still be plugging it. I'm not saying I won't do it, but I just see little grubby hands all over social media. Like, and the second you figure it out, in my opinion, they change it.
They
But
do change it a
it's
lot.
still there. I'm not saying we don't. And,
Same thing with search. It gets changed every day.
even though it feels like it, Tyra doesn't make a living making sure the algorithm works. She makes a living teaching people how to use
find
their
out.
voice to change the world.
Well, and how to know when the algorithm's changed. Morrissey,
Down with the proletariat.
Morrissey, go follow the
right.
president. Follow the president of Instagram on Instagram. Anyway, in a good, so let's have a good vibe moment now. I put another link in our private chat. That's Hollow Creek, Nothing Hollow,
Okay.
nothinghollow.com. This is a audio podcast drama that one of my student groups created. It is horror based, so I wanted to get it out here for our Station Boo. And the gentleman who was the team lead for this wrote this story, and it's called nothinghollow.com. And I think it's a really good example of something that over time is going to find an audience, but it's going to take it time to find an audience. So if you like horror and kind of relevance to things happening in our world at this moment, go to nothinghollow.com and go listen to them, because he's done a really superb job with an audio drama.
And what's your end of year wishes to everybody?
That people listen to me. No. What am I in it? I hope that everybody finds something that not only is a creative outlet for them, but also something that brings them a sense of peace and a sense of calmness, that they find the thing that gives them that. Like I love podcasting. I love writing. They don't always give me a sense of calm, particularly when I'm writing, because it can be very, it's very exhilarating. It's very creative, but it's not the calm. And I'm hoping that someone on my wish list got me some stuff to do watercolors with and meet the class I want to take. Fingers crossed. And I'm hoping that might be it. If not, crochet is very close to that. I can just sit and crochet. So I hope everybody finds a creative outlet that not only inspires them, but I hope they find one that brings them some peace and calm, because we need a lot of that.
We do. I say I hope that all of us can reach a point of enlightenment in our lives to where we realize 90% of the noise in the world doesn't matter, and we should only really worry about the percentage of the noise that matters that we can actually affect. And that's why I get feisty on these shows. I don't give a crap about algorithms because I always think they're a joke. So I will always do it differently, and that makes me happy. That's all there
good.
is. So find your joy, find your happiness.
I'm glad that you're
create for
trying
you.
different things to see what works. I think that's part of it. Like you got to find out what works for you.
Yeah, and when the world changes for the better, guess who you're gonna look up and see at the top of that crest, surfing the chaos? Me and Tyra, we're gonna be right there, leading charge. Like I always knew they had it in them.
That's it. And Devo will still be sending us speak pipes.
That's right. All right. Where can they find you on the web?
Where else? You know, it's tyraburton.com. I also have a link tree, but tyraburton.com. It's a beautiful place. Come join me.
And our link tree is Be Awesome Together. And that's where you find us. Charles follows there. I did. I went to look at something on whatever site I hosted on, and I saw the little thumbnail of it. I'm like, man, that really does look a lot better, even in the thumbnail. Hopefully, I'll get that done before the new year.
You got some time off on Tuesdays now for the next 2 weeks.
For the next 2 weeks, we will be out managing life. It's only going to get busier from here. I don't know if time off is. We're taking time away from the show, but that's only because life is lifing.
Yeah, we got to, and kind of the family life is lifing. So
yeah,
it's time to be with family. So I hope everybody enjoys their holiday, regardless of what you celebrate or don't celebrate. At least have some time and take some breaths.
Yeah, and please let us know what is going to be going on, what answers you have for tonight's questions of the creativity and the paths, and down with the algorithm proletariat or served algorithm masters. I don't know. Pick your choice. Let's pick sides. That's a new battle for 2026.
It can be fandom face-off, but with algorithms.
With algorithms. Boo says, happy holidays and stay warm. I hope that everybody has the best end of the year that they could possibly have. And we will see you again on January 6th.
Yes.
There we go.
Music.
There's some music. Here we go.